Hello and welcome to Innovate RE4. Today I will be presenting to you Google Classroom. We have seen this Google application being used all over our district, from first grade students all the way through 12th grade students. And today I wanted to share and highlight some of the great teaching tools available within Classroom. I'll be going over the setup, how this can save you time, how it can improve your organization as a teacher, and enhance your communication with your students. Google Classroom also allows you to create an engaging, self-paced student learning environment for your students. Let me begin by showing you how easy it is to set up your classrooms within Google Classroom. You can add students directly, or you can share a code with the class to join, and it takes just minutes to set up. So for demonstration purposes, I have set up two different accounts. I have my teacher account at Sheila Bowman, you can see, and then on this side of the screen I have my son's account. So we're able to show you what it looks like on the teacher side and on the student side today. So the first thing you will do as a teacher or a student is go to Classroom.Google.com. And if you are logged in and you've logged in before, you will see this screen and you'll see all the classes you're either a student in or you're a teacher in. It's very important that the first time you log in, teachers select I am a teacher. Students, on the other hand, will log in the same way, and they will need to make sure that they select student. This allows them to only join classes and not create classes of their own. Once you have logged in and said whether you are a teacher or a student, teachers will simply click on this plus arrow, and you will have the choice to either create a class or join a class. We will probably be using join a class later on as we develop professional development classes, either at the building level or at the district level, and we might use Google Classroom later in the future to create our classes that way. But as a teacher, if you want to begin by creating your class, you'll just select here. And you'll give your class a name, and that name may be reading, and then my section might be section 1. Or for instance, if you were teaching several classes at the high school, several courses but different sections, you would want to give each class their own. You may put Maroon 2, Maroon 4, and differentiate that way. So you would create a class for each section that you taught at the high school or middle school level. So right now I'm creating a reading class. And if you look, I have no students, but I can invite students to join by putting this code on my whiteboard or just making it larger on the screen for them to see. And students, once they've logged in, will go to the plus sign and they'll be prompted to join a class by typing in the class code. So we'll just type in QIDLS6 and we will join that class. And you'll see how quickly Cody will be added to my class right there. And all of my students then will populate here. If you want to invite, if you have just a small group of students that you want to invite, or maybe you're differentiating and you're creating classrooms that are just small groups, like maybe you'll have a reading group that will be their own separate classroom, you might want to just invite them on your own. And the way to do this is to select invite, go to your directory. This will bring up all people in the district, students and staff, and you can type the students in. Let's put Brady for purposes of this, and we will invite him in, and he will be updated into my student list. Sometimes it just takes a moment, and there is Brady. And you can see that he was invited and Cody invited himself. Brady will have to have to accept that invitation. Once you have your classes all set up the way you want them, you can start adding announcements and assignments by going to your stream. You'll notice that you have two choices. Announcements are a place where you can add resources, and you can also place prompts for students to write. This is a place where students are able to all submit their reflections on your prompt, and everyone's will be viewable by everyone, including you. So this is not a private post. This is kind of like a blog in your classroom. So you may want to say something like, reflect upon your reading last night. And you can just post that. You can also, to this announcement, add attachments from your computer, attachments from your Google Drive. You can add YouTube videos. So this might be a great place to add a video and then have students compare and contrast the video to a reading that they have done, which we've seen a lot in the park. And this might be a place to actually practice that. You can also add a link here that you might want students to go visit a website and then come back and reflect upon that website, or add some content that they learned in this announcement section. Here you have the choice to add that post to either any of the classes that you've created. So for practice purposes, I'm going to pretend that these are the same classes and I just want them all to have the same announcement. So I'm going to click on all three of those, and then I'm going to simply click post. And you'll be able to see that it takes just a few minutes. It depends. I've noticed that the more classes you select, the longer it takes. And then Cody would just be able to see that announcement show up like this. And then he'll be able to add his reflection below. And just for time's sake, I'm going to click that in and I'm going to post it. Now, you'll see that that will post over on my page as well as his page. And because this is shared with your class, all things posted will be viewable by all classmates. So this again is not a private announcement. This is public, so much like a blog, like I said before. The other option you have is to post an assignment, and that looks rather different. The reason you would use assignment different than an announcement is if you wanted to collect work, grade the work, and then add a due date. Those are the things that are different. Everything else is pretty much the same, and you have the same options as far as attachments, links, and videos. But let's just post one to play with. Let's do world map. We're going to give it a title. I can give a description, and this is the area where I can put directions like please review the following websites, then create your own world map using, and you can give directions here using Google Draw. Label each continent. Okay, and I'm going to give that a due date. If you click here, it just pops open a calendar. I'm going to make that due on Saturday the 11th, and I'm going to make it, this just is the default, but I can make it 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and then I can, from this assignment, I can upload as many of these items as I want. So I might want to find a YouTube video on the 7 continents. I have to spell it right. And there's a video. I definitely want to preview it before I add it, but I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then I'm going to add a link to, and I'm going to just pretend that I've already looked this up, and here's my link. I'm going to copy that link, go back, paste that link in, because I want them to read more about continents and maybe do an interactive simulation. Then I want them to read about the continents that I've maybe written some notes about, and I'm just going to click this. Now, I want to give you a word of caution. We have noticed that if you upload a Word document, which will have either a W, I'm just trying to find one to show you, but if you upload a document from Word and then you try to post it for students to be able to edit, this lends to problems. So I am encouraging everyone to upload, and when they upload a Word document, if you don't create the document in Google Docs, you'll need to upload the Word document and convert it to a Google Doc before you post it into Classroom if you want students to be able to edit it. Now that won't be necessary if you want them to just to use it as a resource to read, because you'll see when you post a Google Doc or something from your drive, it gives you 3 options. You can allow your students just to view the file. You can allow your students to collaboratively edit the file. Now, if you select this, every one of your students will have editing rights on that same Google Doc or that same Google presentation if you upload that, or that same spreadsheet. So you need to make sure you know that all students will be able to get in and edit that. If you want them to create a document on their own, you can make a template within your Google Drive before you add this assignment, and then you could make a copy for each student. And once you make a copy for them, they are able to go in and edit that, and it automatically shares that assignment with just you. So they will have a copy, they will go in and put their answers in, and then it will share it back with you, and it will name that. In this instance, it would name it Weld RE-4 Online Safety Protocols / Cody Bowman, and I will have that in my Google Drive, and it will come back to me in Classroom so I can grade that and then reassign it to him. Now, I can also change my mind and decide, oh, I don't really want to put that on there. I put the wrong file, so you can just hit that X, and I'm going to do, for testing, or just to test this out, I'm going to do this untitled document. Now, I'm going to give a copy to each one of my students, and I also want to assign this to my reading and my math class, and I'm going to click Assign. And you'll see what that looks like on the student side in just a moment. It does take longer. I've noticed that if the more classes you assign it to, it takes a little more time to populate in their drive, but we're talking less than a minute to get that out to all your students. So you'll see one new item has been posted, and you'll see that it's different. It says assignment, and then it puts the title of the assignment here. I can go ahead as a student, I can just walk myself through that lesson that my teacher has laid out for me. She wants me to view this, she wants me to view the video, she wants me to go to the link, and now she wants me to actually do the assignment, which is the untitled document. Now, from this, I'm going to, this may be a template for notes, and I'm going to go in as Cody, and I'm going to change the date and do whatever I need to do. But let's just show you, he wouldn't have to put his name on it, but I'm just showing you the changes and how they're saved. And you'll notice here he has the option to turn it in when he's finished. So he's going to turn in that document, and then he's going to make sure that's what he wants to do and turn it in again. And he can add a private note right there to his teacher. if he wants to say, I hope you like it, or I had a question on this, and you'll notice right away it changed from 1 is done and 0 are not done, and this updates automatically. Now if I want to look at Cody's assignment, I can select this 1 done, I think it's because it wasn't updated. Or I can go to the world map assignment and it shows me that Cody Bowman has turned it in. And here I can give him a grade by selecting however many points I want this assignment to be worth. So I'm going to make it worth 20 points. I'm going to update that point value, and I'm going to go right in. If I click on his name, I can go right into that document, and you'll see it's the template that he changed, and you'll notice he is on with me, and we are the only 2 people that have share rights to this document. So it's a private document between the 2 of us. Now, once I've looked at that and I see that he's done what I wanted him to do, I'm going to give him 19 points, and I'm going to add a comment like, please add more details and return to me by Friday. And I'm going to post that, and I need to make sure that I return it to him, because until I return it to him, it is just like if a student handed an assignment in to you and put it in the turn-in basket, you'll notice he does not have editing rights. He cannot go in to edit this. I'm trying to type and I'm not allowed to because it's frozen in his drive until I return that assignment. Once I return it, I can give him more feedback if I choose, and I can return it. Now once it's been returned to him, you see he's got his grade, he sees my comment, oh, I need to go in and edit that, and he can go right in, and you see now he has editing rights. So that is the essence of how to set up and grade an assignment. Now that's just a quick overview of Google Classroom and how you might use it to disperse information, resources, links, and assignments to your students, as well as front-load your lessons to create a more differentiated, individualized learning environment with your students. Please go to support.google.com/edu/classroom for more information.